5% of Nevada is owned and regulated by the federal government, and Donald Trump wants to keep big government in charge. That's ridiculous. You, the people of Nevada, not Washington bureaucrats, should be in charge of your own land. If you trust me with your vote, I will fight day and night to return full control of Nevada's lands to its rightful owners, its citizens.
Trump responded with a tweet. Just saw the phony ad by Cruz, totally false. More dirty tricks. He got caught in so many lies. Is this man crazy? He added more at his rally.
This guy Cruz lies more than any human being I've ever dealt with. Unbelievable. And he holds up the Bible and he lies. The evangelicals were supposed to go with Cruz. They were supposed to go with Cruz. But you know what? Honestly, I won the evangelicals by a lot. You saw that, right? So the evangelicals didn't vote for him. You know why? Because they don't like liars. They're really smart people. They don't want to vote for a liar. This guy is sick. There's something wrong with this guy.
Mike Barnicle.
Ted Cruz, I just don't get Ted Cruz. I really don't get him. I just don't get him. I choose not to say anything more because I don't want to libel the person.
Sam Stein, can you scratch the surface of what Mike Barnicle just said and give us a little bit deeper?
How can I build on legendary columnist Mike Barnicle's take there? There's just no way to build on that. It's legendary.
So we've talked about an awful lot today, as we do every day. But Ted Cruz's back is against the wall, is it not, with after losing the evangelicals in South Carolina?
Yeah, I think so. We talked a little bit about how difficult a time both he and Rubio have in these upcoming states. Texas, he's got to take Texas for any reasonable, plausible rationale to continue going on. There is a poll out today that makes it look possible, but I think in retrospect his strategy of staying as close as possible to Trump for as long as possible ended up looking a bit foolish. He didn't recognize that to ultimately win this thing he would have to go after the king, and
yeah, I think it was Chuck Todd who said, or somebody on the show added up all the money that's been spent in super PAC attack ads.
That was me. That was me.
I can't remember who it was. It was such a great, important, critical point. I just can't remember. I know Sam was the guy that got everything wrong about the Belmont in 73.
No. Yes.
Freakness.
But anyways, somebody said that only 4% of the attack ads. Sam, what did they say when you heard them?
It was a brilliant point. I can't remember who it was, but they said that 4% of all super PAC money in attack ads has been spent against Donald Trump. That's $215 million total. Spent only $9 million against Donald Trump. Incredible.
And as Ron Fournier said that earlier this morning, Mika wrote earlier this morning, when he was growing up playing King of the Hill, the idea was to go and knock the king off the hill, not to beat everybody up at the bottom of the hill, but that's what they're doing.
The problem is that when you have a hill where everyone at the bottom are fraidy cats, then they don't play King of the Hill the right way.
I do think it is a question of political courage. Do they have the courage to go and try to knock the front runner's head off?
And also speak the truth to the policies and the ideas and where the party is.
And if you don't, then you're not strong enough to be president of the United States.
If people like Donald Trump for speaking his mind, why don't you speak your mind, your true mind, about the issues? No, but about Donald Trump, about the issues, about whether or not the retirement age needs to be raised, about immigration.
They don't know
Speak
how.
your mind. Forget your people, the ones that you end up firing anyway. Forget them. Make it come from the heart, the gut, and the head, and speak your mind.
All right, so let's talk about what we learned today. Mike, what did you learn?
I learned, once again, in cement, this thing is over.
You really think it's over?
Yes.
Wow.
Am I getting a
Sam
truck?
Stein, what did you learn?
Well, the last segment you did on heroin in the Frontline documentary it's not so much what I learned, it's what I hope. You know, New Hampshire was the epicenter of a crisis, but it wasn't the only place that a crisis was taking place. And with the presidential campaigns all in New Hampshire, we had a really strong several months where we were actually having a sincere conversation about that epidemic. I hope that we don't let that fall away. I hope we continue talking about it.
Yeah.
And Mika, what I learned is Mike Barnicle, in his own words, may owe you a truck.
Mike?
Well, if it's over, I got to get the... It's over for me.
Legendary Mike Barnicle loses that bet. Steve Kornacki picks up coverage from Las Vegas right now on the count of three. Legendary. 1, 2, 3.